Mr. Mayor, members of City Council, and my councillor, Mrs. Cynthia Block, who represents Varsity View, Ward 6. Thank you for allowing me to deliver my message related to the Housing Accelerator Fund and accessory dwelling units as a 5-minute video. My name is Douglas Tompson, and I live in Varsity View on Temperance Street. I do not support the relegation of municipal bylaws to the federal government in spite of the generous financial inducements. However, I believe that this misguided issue will still go forward despite the objections of many Saskatoon residents in neighbourhoods that are not suited to high-density development. I'll leave it to others to explain why it's a bad idea and focus on an issue that needs to be addressed with this inevitable increase in accessory dwelling units and a much higher building density. What is the City of Saskatoon going to do about the construction bylaws that address the water and sewer connection, excavation and compaction methods that connect these accessory units to the city infrastructure? I've been driving around Saskatoon and the construction season has begun. Last year, Ham Construction did a great job replacing our street, and they used low-impact construction practices that resulted in hardly any noticeable vibrations in our home. Great job, Ham Construction, and thank you. This year, I noticed a construction company digging up College Drive using a backhoe with a sharp claw to gently tear open the asphalt. This is an excellent low-impact method of construction. This is a much better way to break through the paved street than the old-fashioned, high-impact method of beating on it with a narrow backhoe bucket. Thank you. Downtown, I noticed that Bruner Construction is also using a sharp claw to tear open the asphalt and a hydraulic tamper for compaction. Great job, Bruner Construction, and thank you. Unfortunately, the low-impact method isn't required. I've observed my street dug up many times. Sometimes the house shakes with the high-impact method, and sometimes I feel almost nothing when the low-impact method is used. Both are approved methods according to the City of Saskatoon construction bylaws. There have been times when I've feared that my home would be damaged, but I've been very lucky. Some residents have not been lucky. What happens when a home is damaged? Well, there's a lot of finger pointing, and sometimes it ends up in court. This will become more and more common. I'm not interested in throwing anyone under the bus in this video, so I'll leave out the names, but I think it's important to read out a couple of paragraphs from some court records. You have all the details in the PDF file that ought to be attached to my name in this file. The court commented on a recent Varsity View case, and I quote, Mr. X explained the process of filling the hole and compacting the dirt. There are two options typically available for X for jobs of this size. One uses a vibratory plate tamper and the other uses a backhoe bucket. X has routinely used the backhoe bucket for 48 years. On occasion, the city will require the use of a plate tamper. According to X, both methods have been proven to achieve the required soil densities. End of quote. How does the city decide which property owners get the benefit of the plate tamper and which property owners get the risk of the backhoe bucket? When it comes to establishing whether the licensed water and sewer company breaches their duty or their standard of care, they do a great job of directing the responsibility to the City of Saskatoon. Let me quote from the records again. Unquote. The defendant X replied that all work it performed was in strict compliance with construction standards and denies that its actions caused damage to Ms. Y's property. Alternatively, X's position is that if it complied with the City of Saskatoon's specifications and authorizations, it is entitled to the same statutory immunity as the city. End of quote. If a licensed water and sewer contractor can shake a house with inappropriate construction practices, cause damage, and then be protected behind the city construction bylaws, well, these construction bylaws need to be updated and changed. The court has heard that on occasion the city will require the use of a plate tamper. To me, this simply means that, on occasion, the city protects the property of some residents and not others. Thank you for your attention in this matter. I hope that I'll be in attendance at City Hall to answer any questions. Now, 15 seconds left on my time.